And we are live! Hello all, and welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. Wow, that was like gunfire.
What is
going on?
My
name is always Mr. Harlan Guthrie. Once again, with my lovely, amazing, sexy, talented wife, Mrs. Jo Guthrie.
It was like a 50-50 on whether you were going to cut to William or not.
It was a 50-50 chance that I was going to go with William there. Oh,
Hi, everyone. I don't like it.
This goes for a long time. It smells like drops of rain.
It's very, yes, rain. I like it.
We are joined by the one and only, the enigmatic Erika.
Hello! Why the applause? Pause for a moment.
Because they had to think.
Okay.
Once again, the hilarious and multi-talented William A. Wellman. And joining us for the first time, I have played with this person through Ain't Slayed Nobody, the fabulously talented Nick Rosenberg.
Aw, shucks. Hello.
And we are here with Salty Dogs. That's right. You've been waiting for it. You've been asking for it. You've been begging for it. You've been saying, when are we going to do more Salty Dogs? Well, here it is. The 10th part of our Salty Dogs series. And I know you all know the story up until this point, including the players. We're right at the end. The big battle is about to start. I'm kidding. Welcome. This is the INVICTUS stream. If this is your first time watching, it's Wednesday night at 8. We used to do this every Wednesday night at 8 for many years. And we stopped for a while because we had a little baby. If I had the awe sound effects, I would throw it in here. But inappropriate. But we're back. We wanted to hang out with our friends and play some games, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I see a lot of people chatting. We got a lot of old friends. Colin, we got the
Brianna and Michael are here. Yay!
And of course, Wellman looking good, as people have already shouted out.
Naturally,
how handsome and pretty and gorgeous everybody is looking. And I'm glad that we dressed up.
Feels good.
Cuffs.
I haven't dressed up yet.
Erika.
Oh, are you reserving? You have a costume in reserve?
I am reserving it.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good.
I can't wait to
do
see it.
A few quick shout outs. Of course, those who may know me from Malevolent, you can check out malevolent.ca if you like spooky horror podcasts. Go check it out. It's a fun show. ErikaIsCool.com is safe. We are now trying to raise money so that Erika can buy it, and then we'll reach out to a picture of Erika going like this.
For $2,000 a day from everyone, I will be able to buy this.
The price of 500 coffees a day.
500 coffees a day. That's a coffee cost. $10.
I'm worth it.
It's true.
Nick, of course, is from the aforementioned Ain't Slayed Nobody. Nick, why don't you tell us a little bit about it for those who may not know what Ain't Slayed Nobody is?
Absolutely. So Ain't Slayed Nobody is an actual play podcast. We used to do primarily Call of Cthulhu, but now we've branched out to do a whole bunch of different systems. Harlan actually DM'd for us one time, which was a lot of fun. There he is. Oh, look at that. Look at that smile. We've just released a couple of new... There's in that kind of audio drama / actual play area, and we're really proud of them. Miskatonic Shoreside University. Check it out. It's on the feed now.
Awesome.
Cup's gonna kill me for not being more eloquent.
No, it's great. High
Sorry,
quality,
Cup.
super talented players and GMs on Ain't Slayed Nobody. Huge fan, and I think we've actually shouted out Ain't Slayed in the beginning of Dice Shame.
We have. Yep.
Yeah. So there's already, for people who are fans of Dice Shame. Oh, by the way, we also make Dice Shame. Didn't mention that, but whatever.
New episode comes out tonight at 1:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Tomorrow morning at 1:20.
Yep.
But yeah, and William, lay it on us. What you got cooking?
Yes, I am a podcaster. I'm a horror writer. I make a show called Hello from the Hallowoods, which is how most people know me. And then recently, I've taken up the pastime of playing Dungeons and Dragons online with strangers. So you can now pay to join my Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. A wonderfully adult thing to do. So I've been having a lot of fun with that as well lately.
Hells yeah.
You should do that because William's amazing.
I can attest to William being very talented as well as being very fun, funny, and quirky. Joe, I guess I should say Joe, you might as well mention Dice Shink because I forgot.
I'm the host and GM of an actual play podcast called Dice Shame. I hope you've heard it. We are releasing episode 94 of season 2 tonight. Harlan's on the show.
Woot woot.
We got a couple other cuties on the show too.
Oh shit! I have to go back and I'm not looking at.
Wow.
Come on, cuties. I'm the only cutie.
You're the prime cutie.
I'm the prime cutie. I'm the primo cutie. But yeah, it's a great. If you like RPGs, TTRPGs, check it out.
It's pretty
It's
good.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You got a lot of content here, and Erica is the content generator.
I've been doing stuff too. Like I've been doing stuff. You guys want to know what I've been doing?
Yeah.
I bought my cat a ball pit.
Yeah. And how does the cat like it?
He's a little scared of being in the balls, but if I like swirl them around like a giant like fishbowl, he loves that. He's mesmerized by like watching it. So
Yeah, of course. Who wouldn't be?
That's good.
turns out it's the same kind of like tunnel system and playpen as my 3-year-old nephew has. So if my nephew ever does come to visit, he can just play with my cat's toys.
Can you tell me, did your siblings buy your nephew a cat toy, or did you buy your cat a baby toy?
It was an independent purchase, so we were doing them completely for our own needs. I bought the cat toy, they bought a kid toy, and that's just where our minds are.
And it's the same thing. I love it.
Same thing.
Very
Excellent.
good.
Nick, you got someone saying Nick.
Hi.
Kissinger, so you got a fan hanging out already. Look at
Oh,
that.
my fan. Hi. Good to see you.
You made it.
I made it. Great.
Cool. Tonight's game. So again, for those watching who may not know our vibe over here, very chill, hanging out. We're going to be telling you a little bit of a story and having fun doing it. And this is also for Nick, who's going to just figure it out as we go along. Yeah, chat along. If you have ideas, throw them in the Discord chat because it's always fun to take them.
I'm gonna steal them
and take
all
credit
for
them,
myself.
let's be honest. Additionally, if you want your kind, loving, helpful comment to be highlighted, you can comment along on YouTube. I think it's how it's pronounced. YouTube.
YouTube.
Mr. Beast owns it.
YouTube.
Haha.
A lot of people in the Discord chat both saying, "Oh my god, I missed these so much." Hi, Liz. And a lot of people saying my first ever RPG stream.
Whoa.
Someone
Yeah.
has a ball pit.
Sunny,
So
hi.
bar to clear.
And what a wonderful game we've chosen to play tonight to introduce you to.
It's
Yes.
called Notes.
Harlan's
Called my to-do. I haven't made any notes.
Scrambling.
I got a document. We're good. Retro also wrote, Nick is a total pro. Nick makes the best characters.
Hey.
Nick, look at that.
Oh
You're
no,
already
the
getting-
pressure. The pressure. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah,
It's a big day for me.
it's a big day for everyone.
We got Kissinger here.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, let's do this damn thing. And let's have some fun doing it. Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends, without further ado, Salty Dogs. No one knows why the world is the way it is. Some say the water was once far below. Great sea gods in their infinite wisdom returned from the stars and caused the waters to rise. Others believe in an ancient prophet named Al Gore, and wisdom about the rising waters. Some even believe the land still exists in some places. Tracts of earth called islands. Pieces of dirt so large that you can't feel the movement of the water below you. Some even believe this land still exists out there, beyond the horizon. But you don't care about that. No, The ocean is your world, and goddamn if you don't love it. The bright blue sky, reflected in the crisp, cool ocean waters, the wind at your back and the salt in your hair. Everything you've ever wanted is out here. What's more, you're not alone. Call it fate, call it luck, call it whatever the hell you want. You have found your people, your home, the deck of the Crabethany. You have everything you've ever wanted. The bow of the Crabethany breaks the white waves with a thunderous crash. Your home, your life, the wonderfully sound, though far from perfect, Crabethany. She's held together well these many years. Your stalwart crew has kept her running. From the height of the crow's nest, a loud snoring is heard. A gull lands next to this person, and with a loud squawk, wakes up Creaky Timbers. William, who are we looking at?
Damn gulls. Creaky Timbers Nelson is navigator, lookout, sometimes captain, depending on the day. Fathered was a type of wizard called a science teacher in a bygone era. Creaky Timbers knows little of science, but what he has inherited is knowledge about clouds, waves, the weather, what volcanoes are made of, and other useful factoids that might behoove one on these uncharted waters. Yes, Creaky Timbers Nelson embodies a spirit of adventure that the other crew must, from time to time, find inspiring in their darkest days. Yes, Creaky is the backbone of this here crew aboard. The beautiful, the awe-inspiring, the ever-forward Crabethany.
And as Crabethany hits another wave, you steady yourself, Creaky, leaning over the side to shout down to Portabella, who stares up at you from the main deck. Who are we looking at, Joe?
Portabella is a leathery old crone. She has wrinkled brown skin and bobbed dark hair, and she wears an outfit that can only be described as a upcycled patchwork black raincoat. She is clasping on to the handlebars of a strange contraption that she sits on for untold hours every day, pedaling along these little wheels. It's basically a stationary bicycle, but Portabella believes that it's keeping her bones alive. She looks up at you, Creaky Timbers.
And Portabella, as you continue on your creaky bicycle thing, you hear the spritz of the water spray from just below you. A large metal grate sits on the floor of the top deck, and below you, you see none other than Misha. Misha, who are we looking at?
So down in one of the holds underneath this grate, which has been rigged to be able to pull back to fully expose the contents of the hold to the sun, is a 6'5", broad-shouldered figure with close cropped hair, and is dressed in a way that indicates that they are all about practical, being super practical about things. And they look up as they're in among their favorite place on the boat, which is this hydroponic farm that they tend to and devote all of their like attention and their love to. And I think that when they notice Portabella looking down, they'll shout up, "Hello! We'll have fresh vegetables today for lunch and dinner. Worry not." Okay, good chat, and then just moves on, walks off.
Misha, as you kind of turn away from the grate, you notice a very familiar clacking sound from just outside your hydroponics bay, and with a slight knocking at the door to your bay, you open it to see the one and only Morrissey. Erica, who are we looking at?
Well, Morrissey's he's short. He's a little guy. The top of his head comes up to about everybody's waist. He's a mechanic in that bang on it until it works kind of way. He's very dark, rich red, and he's a gum chewer. Everyone knows where Morrissey is because they can hear that slow and endless click, click, click of him chewing his gum. He can't taste it, but he likes the texture, and it gives him something to plug a hole around the ship in a pinch. Speaking of pinches, which is a great segue, you'll see in just a moment. He's also the owner of the pinchiest set of huge, heavy pincers. And that's what he chews his gum with. It's in one of those massive claws, just opening and closing over and over. Because Morrissey is one of the few in the area known as a rabbit, and he is always naked. But it's okay because he is a gigantic red crab, so it's fine if they're naked. He does like wearing little hats, which is another reason why he's always clicking his gum. He'll stick that gum on his shell, and then he'll put the hat on the gum so it doesn't blow away in the salty air. And I understand that this may be a little bit difficult to visualize, so I have brought a little visual aid.
Oh my God, thank God for this.
I love you, Erica.
I need you to picture this. That is Morrissey. Knock, knocking on that door.
Where did you?
Fucking perfect. Yeah,
It's fine.
These are my little claw friends.
perfect. Why do you have two of them? You know what? Doesn't matter.
You know what?
Why not have you?
Do you regret it now? This is the perfect time.
No, not at all. It's perfect. Excellent. And Misha, you see Morrissey just pass by your door for a moment. Your vessel, though you don't know its original purpose, provides everything you'll ever need, save the occasional visit to Dockside, which you see approaching. The Dockside is a roving band of ships connected via floating docks that can be moved and relocated from any storm that may come by. Rent is cheap, but one must have a vessel. And as you pull up alongside, your intentions are to stay a few nights, trade, dance, drink with the residents of Dockside, and then head back out, keen to sail the ocean blue. Although, plans do tend to change. And with a thunk, all of you hear the hull of your ship connect with the wooden dock of Dockside. Creaky timbers, Nelson. I imagine you're sliding down from the crow's nest. I picture you in the crow's nest all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, just keeping as far an eye out as I can see. Come sliding down to the boots on the deck. There's jingly things I've attached to the backs of them. I don't know what they're for. And as I stride across the quaky steel grates of the Crabethany, all right, avast ye sea dogs, and whatever Morrissey happens to be. There will be no getting used to landlubbing. Do not get accustomed to the rations here. I've had enough complaining on this last voyage that, our barrels aren't good enough anymore. Please make sure that you do not end up drunk, because I will, mark my words, as much as I love you all like my own dear family, I will set sail without you if you're drunk in a hostel somewhere or cruising up on someone else's boat. So, discipline is of the highest order. Otherwise, enjoy your day on the boats.
Portabella has just sort of scrambled up towards where you're at, Creaky Timbers, and she's dragging this big net behind her, and she's struggling a little bit with it, but she accepts no help from Misha, and it's just full of shit. There's just a lot of stuff that she scavenges from the surface of the waves, and she's insistent. This stuff is gonna make a fortune. Just give me a second. And she's like,
are you cooking those or using them for your little weird magics?
Don't be a stupid idiot.
This is for trade. It's all good. It's all good stuff.
Portobello, as you arrive to the front, sort of like ladder leading off the ship, you see a man climbing up. And as he places his boots on the top deck, 2 bones per night if you want to dock at Dockside. And he holds a hand out towards, I imagine like the 4 of you, maybe all are coming up to the main deck to greet Dockside.
Mm-hmm.
Who's paying?
Does he want bones?
Bones.
I can just give him a little. Let's put out little bones. I just carry them.
Bones.
There you go.
Well, you know,
This is currency?
The currency in this world is shark bones.
Oh, do
Yeah.
they have
Now, you might
femurs? 'Cause
say-
that's what I have.
You might say sharks don't have bones, but remember, they do in this. So he holds out a hand,
Sharks have
and you know that everything runs on shark bones. Like Portobello is going to trade those boots for at least a shark bone,
A couple.
probably.
Morrissey,
And,
you packed the shark bones, did you? Morrissey?
Oh God, is this my job?
Who's paying?
Those would have to be inside Portobello's bag. So Morrissey is going to just stick his little claw in there, like he's playing the actual claw game. Just kind of fish out the little bits that are in there. Just pick it back out one by one and gingerly give it to whoever this landlord is.
I'm not a landlord. My name is Barney, and
He's a sea lord.
That's true. There is no land here. My apologies.
is land?
Lord. Dock
And he
Lord.
sees Misha climbing the ladder and locks eyes with Misha. Oh, and you coming back here? That's pretty wild of you, Misha. He says and spits on the deck of the Krebethany.
And I know this person's name.
Hey.
Yeah, it's Barney.
Oh, he said Barney, yeah.
I did he?
Hello, Barney.
You really think you could dock back on here without any, well, you ought to talk to the captain if you want to stay here for more than a few minutes. Doesn't matter about the bones after what you took from him last time.
Well, you tell him I'm here. I will be in the market. They're holding like these huge barrels of vegetables and like fresh produce and stuff, and stacks one barrel on top of another, and then just from the bottom like lifts them both up. They're these enormous like full-size barrels, and they're just kind of like lifting one stack up and then lifts another stack up. I will be in the market. You can tell him to find me there.
All right.
He like kind of steps aside nervously. Like you're this imposing figure, right? You're like,
Yeah,
you're massive.
pretty tall. Yeah.
Portobello goes up to Barney's figure and she elbows him really sharply in the thigh,
You clean that up.
pointing at the spit on the deck.
Yeah, he bends down and he starts like wiping it off.
Ducks don't swab themselves, you know.
Yeah, sorry. I have a gingivitis. If I suck on my own spit too long, scurvy is such an issue. You have no idea how popular scurvy is here. It's an epidemic.
It's very popular.
Latest
It's all the
trend.
rage.
Yeah, my children have it too.
Misha thunks down the 2 barrels and just reaches a hand in and pulls out like a few limes and here, you take.
What is that?
Just take. It's good for scurvy. Take.
He takes the 2 limes and he tries to put one up to his head.
Hello?
Okay, well, you'll figure it out. And then they pick up the barrels again.
Perfect. Yeah, Misha, you climb the barrels down, bringing them down to the main deck. Portobello, you with your sack. I imagine the 2 of you head off to the market.
Mm-hmm.
Morrissey and Timbers, where are you?
They're getting into scurvy younger and younger these days.
Hey, I blame the politicians, really. They push the agenda.
You're as flattering as a lionfish, Barney, and about as invasive. Would you get off me vessel already?
Your vessel?
And he turns towards the captain's deck, and from the captain's deck, you hear a stirring. The captain of this ship is kind of like the Pokeroo, where he's always like, no, you know what he is? He's like a parent in like, what's the show? Oh, in like
Rugrats
Peanuts.
or
He's
something?
like a Peanuts teacher. Where like a hand comes out of the captain's quarter and like waves and goes back in. And everyone kind of runs themselves.
He only talks through those like foghorn bell things
Oh,
that
yeah,
they have on the
yeah.
playground.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And as Barney like snaps his neck up to the captain's quarters, you see just a white gloved hand like wave.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
fancy.
and then it goes back in, and
That's good.
presumably to the bed. Like when you walk into the quarters, it's like a lump. He's like Mr. Claw from
Yes.
Inspector Gadget.
Hey!
You only ever see this much of
Yeah,
him.
correct.
And he's always
And he
petting
talks
a
like that too, and he's like Barney.
Doctor,
Like, you
it's
see, like, a
Dr.
little-
Claw. How dare you?
Did I say Doc? What did I say?
He's
Mr.
a
Claw?
mister.
He didn't go to 4 years of claw school for you to call him Mr. Claw, okay?
That's a good joke.
That's very
That's
good.
a good one. Yeah,
Very
so
good.
Mr. Claw, and that is his name, by the way, Mr. Claw.
Captain Claw.
Captain Mr. Claw, Mr. Captain Claw, and his birth name is Captain. And yeah, you see like a hand wave, and Barney's like, "No, okay, and then he leans forward to you, Timbers. He's like, well,
But I know you really run the. But listen, you might want to convince Misha to, I don't know, say something to the captain of Dockside. After last time, things got quite bad.
and Barney just sort of winks at you with his one good eye.
So just
As though it
painfully
blinked.
blinks. Yeah.
He blinks.
You can't tell us.
You got something in there. Right.
Oh, thank you. My eyes are fine now. Just saying.
Right. Yeah, well, I have a hard time believing that the captain of Dockside finds amiable, jovial us as the worst of his issues, so I'm guessing that whatever we did has been long forgotten, smoothed over by the passage of tides, like stone worn down to crumbs.
Did you say something? I drifted there. My teeth hurt.
And he turns around and he walks down the ladder and saunters off with his 2 shark bones in his pocket.
Can I ask, how big is this place compared?
200,000 feet.
Okay.
Wait, what is it? What was the question?
Compared to our ship, the Crebethany.
Yeah.
How
so
big is Dockside?
It's big. So as you walk down and you kind of see Dockside, it really is just a series of like interconnected docks, always wobbling on the ocean. But you see dozens, if not double of dozens, ships all docked at various arms of Dockside, and then one massive large ship in the center butted up against another massive large ship. The first for the mayor captain of Dockside. You know this to be Captain Jazzy Grink. Sorry, Jassy. It's S's, not Z's. Jassy Grink. A man who the 4 of you stole from 2 months ago. Now, stole is a bit of a nebulous term. You know what happened. We can get to that later. But that's where he resides. And butted up against that ship is, of course, the bar, known as a fun, ironic name that I did write down because I thought it was cool, and I forgot it. But that's the bar ship, and that's where you go drinking.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
The divorced
Thank you.
roommate.
Is that?
The divorced roommate.
No, it was like I googled like funny ship names, and that
If
was
it's against the other ship, it seems like 2 entities that don't want to be sharing a common area and yet are forced to.
well, it was funny because it was a bar. It was
Oh.
like sloshed. You know what? Let's go with sloshed. I don't
Sloshed.
remember it, but I like sloshed. So it's the other ship is the bar, sloshed. So that's where you can
Very good.
get a drink. Misha and Portabella head off towards the market. Morrissey and Timbers, you're sort of down on the docks now. Where are you 2 heading?
Morrissey's got to steal a little bit because this is his time to resupply on the parts we need for our ship. So he
Having
does that by,
learned nothing
having
from
learned
the 2
nothing.
months ago thing.
He didn't get caught. So he does his nice little 90-degree turn down the ladder and then skittles his way down, gets to the docks, and immediately turns for the nearest ship that looks like it might have a running engine, and 90-degree turns, scuttles straight back up, and heads onto there. No one seems to be stopping him. No one seems to be noticing this gigantic crowd walking around, and he goes towards the engine room. Now, his plan is to get his stuff and then return to Portabella, deposit the stuff into her slowly emptying bag as she makes the trays, and the smart one, gets the money, and then resupplies so that she can then lug our stuff back to our ship.
Logical,
system.
safe, sound, totally makes sense. We'll go with that in a second. Timbers, where are you heading?
I am a bit concerned about old One Eye, Two Eyes. Make up his mind, please. Badgering us about ill will, and as the face of the operation since good old Captain Claus, bedbound and burns in sunlight, I think I'd better go pay a diplomatic visit to old Jassy Grink and just make sure there's no hard feelings.
Perfect. Yeah, excellent. And you head off towards the Captain Jassy Grink's ship. Misha and Portobello, you arrive at the market, and it is, a beautiful sight. You remember coming here as you were a kid. The Dockside always changes. Its sort of configuration always evolving depending on where on the Great Blue it ends up being. And this time, which is even different than the last time you were here 2 months ago, all of the merchant ships have backed up into one circular, you call it the disc dock, which is basically a massive disc dock. Yeah, I mean, I was in trouble halfway into that. And they're sort of backed up with their shops on the back of their ships selling stuff. And the two of you sort of enter, side by side, lugging various things. Misha, where do you head first?
I think Misha's going to go to the very center of the disc dock. And with a thunderous thud, we'll just drop all of the barrels that they're carrying. And we'll just start calling out maybe to some of the other merchants that they recognize. Ah, Peter, nice to see you, as they're unloading all of the produce in an artful way in front of both themselves and Portobello.
Yeah, perfect.
Portobella's helping out. I'm pulling these twisted pieces of trash out of my bag, like a half of a bottle of bleach that's like worn by the sun, and like a soda can from what was once Korea 500 years ago. And I'm using them as like plinths for your like eggplant and stuff.
I love the idea that like that's how Portobello sells her shit. She's like, they're like, oh, this is a nice lime. She's like, no, lime come with can.
Yes, you buy both. You touch one, you buy both.
Exactly.
You like bounce it off and knock it. Yeah, and as you're setting up Portobello and Misha, Misha, an old friend of yours, comes over, and you recognize this is Grouper. Grouper was on the ship just before you came to the Crebethany. And he sort of nods to you solemnly and says, how has life been on the Crebethany, Misha?
It's peaceful, I have my vegetables. Look at this, and holds up the most verdant head of lettuce you've ever seen in your life, or this person probably has ever seen in their life. Look, see this. I devote myself to this. I have sunshine. I have good friends. Have you met Portobello?
And he just sort of like slowly turns towards the leathery woman in a trench coat. Give me that again. 1 second. Yes, wonderful. I do hope you know, Misha, that any time you wish to return to the Gilded Lily, you are more than welcome. You don't belong with this type of rabble.
That's fair.
Speaking as a rabble,
way over there, go.
I think Misha kind of like solemnly nods and then grabs Grouper by the collar and lifts Grouper up off the ground. I appreciate this open invitation. If you insult my friends again, I will have to break you, I think. Yes.
Yeah, Misha.
Fine. Very well.
Very well. And then drops Grouper.
Fine. He runs away.
You're okay. You're okay. Straightens out there. Sure. You're okay. Yes. Okay.
A very
good.
big day today. I had a headache this morning. Mummy did not make me breakfast. He walks away, mumbling to himself.
No breakfast. Picks up an orange, chucks it, like wings it at his head, maybe.
Yeah.
One bone.
Yes.
Portobello, like
rolls a can after him.
She loops a hand around your waist, Misha, and looks up at you. You're a good boy, Misha. Well, how did we ever get stuck with a sweet boy like you?
Oh, it is the fate, We come together. You are also sweet. Lifts you straight up into the air and maybe like tosses you a few feet up, or like 10 feet up. Whoa! Oh, so sturdy for so old.
You see someone walk by and like drop a bone for like a show. They're like, they did. Meanwhile, Morrissey, you are halfway through digging out the guts of this engine room, pulling on just everything. And it's never more true that Morrissey whacks things with a hammer to fix them than when Morrissey is deconstructing something, because
Just
none of the pieces that
claws
you're
away.
pulling out are needed or really wanted.
Well, this is actually why he has such a great, wonderful relationship from his point of view with Portabella, because the shenanigans that she ends up selling are all the things that he's picked out of these various corners, assuming that they're engine parts. I didn't say he was a good mechanic, honestly. So whatever he's getting, it's going to be either something that gets stuffed into the Corbethany's engine or something that Portabella finds more financial use out of.
Yeah, and as you pull a gasket out of a pivotal piece of engineering, you hear a few footsteps behind you and turn around to see a tall, fishy-looking person with large, wet eyelids blink at you and cock their head to the side like a dog.
How concerned should Morrissey be?
I don't know. How concerned should you be?
I'm kind of thinking turn around and whack immediately.
Probably, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is there like a history of fish people the way that we have a history of crab people, or
Obviously.
okay, good.
Yeah,
I
of course.
wasn't sure if this was like an
This was like the first
Up
person
and-
anyone's ever
right.
seen.
I think I don't know, if Erica, if that's why you were
E.T.
asking, how
watching.
concerned should I be?
E.T. watches.
If it's smart, because I didn't check whose ship this was. I just wandered into
But it's
whatever
a fish
was
person's
closest.
ship.
You know.
This
And the fish person says, "Well, typical targeting a fish person."
Which is assumed. Morrissey kind of communicates through like little clicks usually. You all understand him. He's just a wonderful understanding of what he does. But in this case, there's no communication. He's got his wonderful hand on that gasket, and the same motion that he uses to bang this thing out of place, he rips his hand back, whacks the fish person, gets both his things, an exit and his gasket.
Yeah.
Pretty good, 2 for 1.
You knock the fish person against the wall with a wet, slimy thud, and they fall to the ground, their eyes dizzy, stars spinning around their head.
This is
Then
how
I
we get into
depart.
trouble.
And then you depart. Perfect. Yeah, it's like, we didn't do anything to upset the captain here. 2 seconds later, Morrissey kills a fish person. No, they seem to be breathing when you left, although they don't breathe, so that's a question for later.
That's true.
And then you scamper off to head towards the market to stash stuff in Portabella's bag, you say?
Yes, I returned them to the other side of the sack, the one that she's not going to keep pulling from to sell because we need this stuff. It goes into the
Obviously.
bottom section.
Of course. Timbers, you arrive at the ship, which I definitely named, and you walk through the front door. And this is like sort of I'm picturing like Monkey's Island, how they have like ships as like buildings, and it's like kind of like upturned, and the door is like facing the outward, despite the fact that it's still a boat that can just float away. Meaning that there is a door that would essentially lead to the open sea if you were out at sea. But that's just how he rolls. And you enter into the small little room that is essentially a waiting room for the captain / mayor of these Docksides. And there's a small little, pointy-nosed man with glasses and thinning hair looking up at you.
Yeah.
Oh, how I've missed that angular little face of yours. Hello!
And
a period of months.
yeah, Zarnik gets up and walks over and throws his arms around you, which comes up to like waist height. Zarnik is a mollusk person. They are mostly, a mollusk. They're mostly snail. They're definitely squishy. They don't really have any defining features other than the aforementioned nose and beady black eyes. And they don't speak English, but they do speak mollusk. And you know a little because, of course, your second cousin married a mollusk. And Zarnik hugs
It was
you.
a beautiful. Thank you.
It was on
My father didn't approve of that at first, but he came around.
He only loves bivalves. What are they? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, he throws his arms around you because he trusts you because you speak a little bit of mollusk. And you know what he's basically. We'll translate it for the audience. Oh,
Yes,
hello, Timbers. It's so nice to see you. How are you doing?
Oh, I see you've still glued yourself onto this particular rock.
Oh, well, mollusks likes to stay put. Less GB cooked in butter, as the old mollusk saying goes.
Tis it not also the saying, a barnacle cannot be choosy about which hull it attaches to.
There's many mollusk sayings that I...
A font of wisdom from
And
the
he's, like,
most
covered in
stationary of
tattoos.
beasts.
Yeah. Anyway, what's up, Timbers?
Oh, well, I had the misfortune of meeting Barney on the way in, and he impressed upon me that your Jassy Grink might have some ill will, some hard feelings. So I thought I would pay a visit and make amends and bring in some gifts to smooth over any remaining trifles.
Oh, he's not in a good mood today, Timbers. I would stay away. He is pretty upset because, well... And he sort of looks nervously and then leans closer, and you know, the squishy mollusk in your ear, and he's like, there's a big storm coming in about an hour.
Oh, clear skies? It's
I know.
unusual.
Well, he doesn't... Look, you know the mayor, Captain Jazzy Grink. The way he
the
is,
man.
he wants to make sure that the dock stays together as long as possible. But this one seems real dangerous, Timbers. You should get out of here
see.
while you still can.
Well, we've weathered storms before.
Not a storm like this, Timbers. I think it has something to do with... And he swallows hard and he says, the schwaz. Meanwhile, Portabella and Misha, you've sold almost all your goods, and you're kind of getting ready to maybe return to the slosh bucket. What do I call the bar?
Sloshed.
Slosh bucket. I've now added a new name.
Very good.
It's
very
under
good.
new
Most
management
people-
very quickly.
It was Slosh Bucket originally, and they rebranded to Slosh, trying to think they'd bring in a hip, younger crowd, and it just doesn't. But we all know it is the Slosh
Did
Bucket.
they like drop the O so it's just like SLSH?
Yeah, they're trying to keep it
Mhm.
real.
There's a
they're, like,
number in there for
they're
some
coming
reason.
around
Yeah,
with,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
There's more dancing. It's like TikTok.
There's more dancing.
It's not the vibe we wanted. Anyway, the Portabella, you get a little tug on your coat from behind. She's cleaning up. quiet, please. I was wondering if I could speak to you and your companion there, Misha.
You can you speak or may you?
Quietly.
What?
Maybe I should speak to... And he steps across to Misha. I was wondering if I could speak to you and...
Who
Or
said
maybe
that?
just you. It's me. And you turn around and you see a man dressed quite differently than what you've seen of the frilly pirate fun nature. He seems much more stoic, a little more calm, but also nervous. He's got a sweaty brow. He's got brown hair. Sort of a long beard is sort of the most edgy part of him. And it's a bit matted, as if he looks like he's been lost on the water for quite a little bit. He's barefoot.
Friend, you seem distressed. Please.
Do you need lettuce?
I don't need this. No, listen. This is very important. I am looking to book passage on a ship. And I saw that you came in on the Crabethany. And
Yes?
I was wondering if you take me somewhere. Now, you know that this is not a common thing. Like, for lack of a better word, your ship is your home. And inviting someone onto your ship for passage or otherwise, you got buses for that. Don't walk into my house with your shoes on and expect anything from me. So the fact that this guy's asking, it's clear that you can kind of deduce he's probably asked a bunch of people and they've said no, and he seems desperate, and desperation reeks off of him.
Well, it sounds as though you might be in trouble. We will need to discuss with all our friends. You get in barrel and we carry you to ship. Get in the barrel. Yes. barrel.
Misha,
All right. And he climbs in the barrel.
Puts the lid on it. Yes. Oh, Bella, what? Yes. Yes.
it's not done, Misha. It's not done.
but now we have a man in the barrel, and she or they like hoist it up over their shoulder. Now we have
It's so good.
man in the
That's the
barrel.
line I want. But now we have a man in the barrel. What's wrong with this? This is great. Amazing. Yeah. Misha, you have Barrel Man. I don't think you got his name.
Yeah,
Just perfect.
I auction off the scraps of limes and shit, and then and roll up my net and tie it around my waist like a super avant-garde sweet net belt, and then I put my little claw arm around Misha, and the two of us walk towards the
feel
bar.
Like
with
Portobello is like one of those people at the flea market where it says 5 cents and she's like, no, 7 now, and you're like,
for you.
yeah. I guess I keep doing.
Yeah,
Misha's
Misha.
accent on
We can't all be
Sorry,
talking
there's
like
too
Misha.
much gravity, yeah.
Yeah, Portobello's like, nah, 7 cents now, or whatever the fuck. Just keeps like upping it to get more money.
Are we off to the bar, Misha? Still with this barrel man, or are we gonna go talk to the crew?
Where are you taking them?
Yeah, where are we gonna go?
I kind of assumed that we had all agreed that after we'd conclude our business, we'd meet in the bar.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Morrissey, you catch up with Portobello and Misha, who's carrying a large barrel. Timbers,
Ask
I
no
imagine
questions.
you also abandoned your quest at. Oh no, you're speaking to Schwartz. So as Misha and Morrissey and Portobello meet up outside the slosh bucket, aka slosh, you go inside and there's the waitress there. Since they rebranded, she's like, "Well, hello, how can I help you? Who'll be dining here today?" And she like takes out 3 menus. It's like way too corporate now.
Free breadsticks.
Well, we can definitely help you with those. Unfortunately, barrels will have to wait outside.
No, Battle,
We don't like her.
Battle comes with us, yes.
Okay, well, I'll seat you in the pirate section, and you see like there's like a family section, there's like kids, and then there's like you look here and it's like doo-doo-doo-doo, and you smash cut here and it's like, "Roar!" And it's like the 2 sides, and she like walks, like she ducks out of the way of a beer bottle as it smashes, and she like walks you to your table and seats you down.
Is there like a partition between like how they used to do in smoking non-smoking?
No, you know what it is? It's a in like the deep south when you have like country bands and they have like the mesh wire in front of the stage to
Yes.
like, prevent them from throwing beer bottles.
Very
It's
good.
that. And you just see this like cacophony of glass. Like there's like a father feeding his kid and there's just like shattered glasses like falling down behind him as he's like shaking. And yeah, you get a booth because booths are best. And it's it's got like a dagger in it. As the 3 of you sit down.
Mhm.
Well, I don't think Morrissey can sit in the booth, so he's gonna stand at the end, looming
Well, they bring
ominously.
over a rivet chair.
Oh, like a little
It's
booster
you know what it
seat.
is? It's a crab bucket. It's a
crab
bucket.
Oh,
Put the crab in the bucket.
Aw.
bucket.
Like chaos. And yeah, they scoot you up to the table.
He's balancing, like he's got all those claws on the other side of the crab bucket, so he's holding himself on with those six of his legs. It's just got his 2 big claws up there. It's just sitting down there, staring, happy.
And the waitress is like, we
I
have
keep
a
forgetting that you have dinosaurs on your hands.
You just realized that?
I know, I keep forgetting, and then I see them again, and it's like a fresh wave of happiness.
And she's like, bottomless mimosas are on sale right now. If you'd like a bottomless mimosa, we also have bottomless grog and bottomless tops.
We all just look at her.
I'll come back when you're ready. Meanwhile, Timbers, you have the mollusk on your leg telling you about the schwaz.
What's the schwaz?
The schwaz is, well, it's a religion of some sort, I guess. Cult is probably more apt. I'm a little bit southern.
Like libertarianism.
Very, very much libertarianism. It's terrible.
Like geology.
It's like geology. No, what it is, well, remember a few years ago before Dockside happened and there was the big garbage pile in the ocean that the mayor helped clean up, and the schwaz were the occupying force there. And, well, basically, unless you're tuned into the talk of the town, Timbers, which I know you and your friends like to stay away, the schwaz are kind of trying to, well, they're trying to stop something big from happening.
They found more garbage.
No. Well, the schwaz believe that deep within the ocean there is a great, massive elder god who lies slumber, and if that elder god ever wakes, well, the world will. Sorry.
I've seen them. They're called whale sharks. You should see their spots orbiting beneath the boat. Eeriest thing you ever did see. Yep.
And yeah, he takes a step back from you. Anyway, they Schwaz believe that if you wake up their god, the whole world will sink. All the water will drain. So they don't want him to wake up. But there's this faction that's trying to wake him up. And well, Timber, I just don't know what to tell you, other than there's a big storm coming, and the Schwaz are behind it. Is what the captain thinks.
Right. My gift for Jassy is a bit of a time is important, so I think I'll just duck in and say hello.
All right, if you insist. But I do, and you kind of push past and go into the door, and you see Jassy, and he's sitting in like a high back chair with a cowboy hat on, fully nude. And he's just sort of like staring.
It's my style, Jesus.
He's like staring out at the wall.
My. I haven't seen you in this position since our younger days.
Yeah. Hey, Timbers, what's up?
Oh. Never have I walked in through these doors, cast aside me muddy boots after months on the water, and found you so empty of spirit. What's taking the wind out of your sails?
Oh, she left me.
Oh,
Timber, she left. I think she's gone for good this time.
Couldn't have seen that. Couldn't have seen the wind.
Oh, she
turning
found
that
out. She
weather
found
vane.
out about all the drugs and all the others.
Oh, and she wasn't too keen on that day.
She understood the crab people, the revets, but she didn't understand the fish people, and she didn't like that.
You know, they say there's plenty of fish people in the sea. By the way,
that was the problem, Timbers, is that I had plenty of them.
Oh, not another. And then not another one of those spawning orgies.
Speaking of, while you're here, does this look like fish rot to you? A few minutes later, he's getting dressed and puts on his frilly shirt and says, "Anyway, what can I help you with, Timbers?"
Well, it was impressed upon me that you might feel a bit sour due to the sequence of events in which somehow the interpretations vary, but you had a map. And then we had the map and still have the map.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm pissed at you and your damn crew and that Misha. I want my damn map back.
I brought you something to ease the sorrow.
It better be that map, or it better be a something to stop this itching fish rot, because one of those two things would be really nice right now. I'll be honest.
Creaky pulls out a large, like, double height mason jar packed full of dirt and riddled with, like, little tunnels inside, and he sets it on a desk. I've brought you a relic from the days of old. They call this a farm of ants. Ants, you may never have seen them before in your life, but if you look closely, they're crawling. They're mapping out the future in their networks. They're from the olden days. They're rare and hard to find, and I've brought you this because I like you, and we used to have lovely talks about what the world might have looked like before. Hey?
I can't stay mad at you, Timbers.
Oh, I
he
know
hugs
it.
you heartily, still fully nude from the waist down, and steps back and says, "All right, bygones be bygones. And look, because we're friends, let me give you a little tip." And he steps close again, and you can feel the fish rot. And he says, "I'd get out of here quick. There's a storm coming."
Yeah, what the hell is the schwaz?
You haven't heard about what the hell have you been doing? Don't you stay on your... They're nuts. They come and they destroy all, okay? The Schwaz, you don't want to fuck with. They are a cult of people who want to stop anyone who wants to make the world a little brighter, like my wife.
Oh, it's... You'll...
Didn't understand how much I wanted to have sex with other people.
Yeah, it's a It's a hard.
No one has it as bad
Hold
as
us
me, okay?
I
No
know.
one. Anyway, you gotta leave. The storm's here any minute. We're gonna be taking off. And he turns around, he opens the jar and starts eating some of the ants. Thank you. I'll tell you later.
Oh, glad hang in there, buddy. You'll flub again one day. And Kriku will turn and begin hastening in double time, trying to seem elegant, but inwardly deeply panicked, back through the streets towards the Crabethany. Or I guess too sloshed where we.
I was gonna say. So Timbers, you arrived to see Misha, Morrissey, Portabella, and a barrel sharing a plate of nachos.
Hell yeah.
Looking deeply unhappy about.
Morrissey's eating all the fully loaded ones.
Morrissey, you can't do that. It's illegal.
Morrissey can't get the ones under the
Morrissey's
bus. Gotta
eating
go
all
for
the
top, and
ones
it's not
with
his
all the
fault.
stuff on it, like all the fully loaded ones.
I call over a server and I'm like, can you tell him to stop eating all of those fully loaded nachos?
He gets that the key chip that like pulls off half of all the stuffing off
bitch.
it. It's only one chip.
I'm mad at you in real life now.
It's like the Marble Tower fucking thing, and they all come crashing through. Yeah. And Timbers pulls up a chair, and the 5 of you, if you include the barrel, are now.
So
But the barrel's not
three-leg-
open.
It's a 3-legged stool I've got.
Needs an air hole. There you go.
Portabella taps her long painted fingernails on the side of the barrel in a creepy way, and she's like, "We've got a company, Timbers."
Yes, we do. And that company be a cult of, I forget if they were geologists or anthropologists, but they're bringing about a storm of some kind. We'd best get back unmoored from this mighty wreck.
Misha put a man in this barrel.
Yes, there's a man in this barrel.
Is he alive?
For now.
Was a moment ago. Yes.
There's not much in here. I wouldn't mind a little bit of air.
No, be quiet. It's the top of the barrel. No.
Misha,
Air hole.
I'm not entirely sure of the context in which this arose, but I do just want to remind you that aboard the Crabethany, we do not practice trafficking of anything that talks.
Not for sale. No.
Ah,
This is,
okay.
Talking is the
For
key
fun,
word.
for pleasure,
for
yes.
fun, for pleasure. They had some request. I don't remember, but he's in a barrel now. Just tapping the top of the barrel.
Well, I'm very glad for you.
Very nice. Those nachos smell delicious.
You can't have any nachos. And she smashes the side of the barrel with her claw hand. Not the same claw hand as Morris. Mine's like this, and yours is like this.
Yeah, yours is arthritical.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's not the right time.
Arthritical.
A loud, heavy crack of thunder sounds out above, and suddenly, both sides of the bar, the peaceful, loving, caring side, and the parents decide that something is off, and they sort of like look up towards the ceiling, and a calm washes over the crowd.
Hey, Harlan, is someone bringing a storm like a normal thing?
I don't know. Probably
Okay,
not.
yeah,
No,
sure.
doesn't seem normal. I don't
Sure.
think so.
Oh, usually I see him coming and then we run.
On the boat.
What does mean the brainstorm? What
The
How?
details run clear to me. It seems to involve whale sharks and garbage, but
as many things do? Yes.
long and short of it is, they're expecting some inclement weather. For some reason, the trash terrorists are behind it, and we had best skedoodle.
I love how you summarize just the whole plot in a sentence. You're a good man, Creek Timbers.
I preserve the value of time, and
Brevity is the soul of, whatever we have going on.
yes, like
Can I have a fish, please?
And the
Portabella.
waitress is now like cowering a little bit.
Can we get a crate to go for these dry, cheeseless chips?
There was
Smash
a little
cut
bit
to,
left.
like,
He just kind of.
Yeah, Morrissey has like a basket on their head as you all scuttle out, and you're walking along the dock, and you see people all moving towards their respective boats, and the dock's even starting to separate as you all start heading back to the Crabethany.
Harlan, I just need to understand. It's like a nacho hat where he's just able to like kind of.
Which
Keep
do you
feeding
want
himself?
it to be?
I would love a nacho hat.
Yes. Well, what do you know? It's always going to be the thing that you want it to be.
Okay, but I
So
just
it'll
want to
a
be able
nacho
to
hat.
wear it so that I can just kind of snack as I go.
Erica, Of course.
All right.
Of course.
good.
Please.
In fact, because they felt bad, everyone's wearing a nacho hat.
Okay, fine.
They're not going to stay in business for very long.
Are we carrying the barrel still?
I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, over Misha's shoulder, just walking,
Yeah.
snacking.
Yeah, and
Oh,
you
it's
all move towards the Crib Bethany, and Barney is like looking up towards the sky.
Gonna be a bad one, I suppose. Wasn't on the docket. I'm surprised. Well, here,
And he hands you one of your 2 bones back.
this is for the trouble, and I hope you cleared up your misunderstanding with the captain.
If you find anything antiseptical, better pass it his way. He's got some deep-rooted issues he's gonna have to confront in the next couple weeks.
And he said, yeah, I'll do that thing that you said with the septics, and I'll do it. Good.
Blythe is aboard, Barney. Always
Say
good
hi
to see you.
to Mr. Dr. Claw for me.
And he parts and heads and unties your boat as the Crib Bethany pulls off just in time. And for a moment, you pull back as you see the docks separate, and it's really beautiful the way that it's sort of, it's a dance of reeling in the docks and certain boats lifting them onto their own thing. And within a few weeks' time or shorter, this will reassemble somewhere, and you'll get a call for it on the radio to know where to come back and visit. And the Crib Bethany is free and clear. Unlike the captain's crotch, once again. And you float out into the ocean.
We best inform the captain that we've taken on a barrel.
Yeah, and as you say it,
passenger.
you see the captain's hand just kind of wave out the door. The white gloved hand be like, I gotcha, keep going.
We don't actually know if he's alive. We just only see the hand. That could be a skeleton in a white glove. We don't know.
Morrissey, the stories you come up about Captain Claw are ever more
Have
fascinating.
never been disproven.
Mhm.
I remember his younger days. That was when he was truly something to behold, and the illness hadn't burned all his skin off quite yet. But,
I go over to the side of the boat, and I reach down with a little net that I keep in a holster on my side,
Right.
and I drag it through the water as we start cutting through the waves.
Yeah.
And I pull out
Misha's nacho hat. That they tossed because they didn't want it.
and I look around between my friends, and I crumple up the nacho hat. I crumple it into corn pieces, and I cast the corn pieces on the deck, and I start reading them.
Ooh.
I'm doing a
Divination.
crushed nacho hat reading,
Yeah, that's a normal thing to do.
and
No, that's great.
As
yeah,
I
you
look-
you do this crushed nacho hat.
as I,
reading.
as I look at the shards of the nacho hat, do I divine anything important about our passenger or about the incoming storm?
Yeah, obviously. You have this ability, obviously. This is established canon in the other 9 parts of the series. And what you divine, Portobello, you are sucked out of the moment. And once again, you are floating in a void, a black space void, as you always do when you do your divination readings. And a great bellowing voice comes through. It says,
Yeah!
What question do we have?
Should we fear the passenger or the storm more? And I come back to my body, and I'm just thoughtfully eating a piece of nacho chip.
yeah. And everyone who watched that just didn't watch it. They were just like, what's that? And yeah, you're back on the ship as it just bobs on the open sea, the clouds slowly darkening.
Question. In my earlier theft, I know we only talked about the one trip, but how many trips?
You made 7 trips.
Fantastic. We're good.
Good. Yeah. So
7
the 4 of
enemies,
you
by the way.
stand
Just
around
heads
a
up.
barrel that you have yet to open. Did anyone put holes in the barrel?
I did. I've been
Oh,
doing
yeah.
that the whole time. While we're eating.
Perfect. Yeah. You just hear this like sucking sound. Trying to
Oh.
desperately breathe from small hole. In the
It's a
barrel.
very delicate piercing.
So dramatic. Oh, Misha will open the top of the barrel and upend it and just dump this person out on the deck. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So you've accepted my... Dockside is gone. Wonderful. Well, then this is easier. I wanted to negotiate passage, but I suppose passage has been...
Oh, no.
Negotiate.
You wish to negotiate? Yeah, grabs the guy again by the scruff of the neck and holds him out over the water.
You didn't grab me like this, but I did see you grab another man like this. Very good.
It's
very strong.
kind of my move, It's what
a very good move.
Morrissey would like to click across that the passage has not yet been completed.
Right.
So negotiation is still very much the next step.
Understood. Very good. Understood. Yes. What now?
Well, you have to offer us something for your safe passage, obviously. So
Right. Would you like to know where I'm going first?
you're going where we're going.
Misha, if I may ask,
Mm-hmm.
I was confused on the context. Did you kidnap this man because you liked him, or is he a customer?
It's neither.
If I could just have a
I
moment
see.
to explain, it would be easier.
No.
Perhaps I could be put down on the deck just for a moment to speak.
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Part of the
very-
negotiations.
Look, here's the thing. I need passage away from here to a place on a map in my pocket for very serious reasons.
holds the guy over Morrissey
we'll get that map.
Hello.
and then back over the water.
What map
Yes.
have you?
Oh, the map. Yes. Well, there. That's my map. Yes.
Oh, well.
Can he just do the tiny little unfurling and just hold it up for everybody? So you
Yeah,
can
go
all
for it.
see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
little- Okay.
Yeah. So you see a map. It's like just an
Yeah.
X on a big blue dot, like a big blue.
What's this part?
Portobello points at the X.
That's the ocean.
Oh, no, this one.
That is still ocean.
What does this say?
That's an X. It doesn't say anything.
This is Bobunk.
It's a scientific proponent and the answer to every equation.
Well, there is a way to read the map that will reveal its location, but only I can do it to prevent this.
I'll have you know I'm the navigator aboard this vessel.
I don't want to be navigator. I just want to get to where the X leads me. And,
Sounds like you're asking to do a lot of the navigating.
And
Fancy man, you're in
Got
a
you there.
fancy man. You're in a panic. What do you know about that looming black cloud billowing over the sky behind us?
yes. Well, that would be the Schwaz. They're after me.
Oh, you could
those
have
are
led with that.
clouds.
Yes, sort of. Look, there's a lot to get through. I promise you, it would be smarter if we started moving. At the very least. And the clouds loom closer. They move unreasonably fast.
Misha,
All right. And Portobello gets on
Yes,
the
you
bike,
might as
which she for some reason thinks powers the ship, and nothing anyone has ever done or said will ever change her mind. And she just starts
No,
pedaling.
what it really does is downstairs, Morrissey has like a piston that cracks peanuts. And Morrissey just puts peanuts in to crack fresh peanuts every time.
Misha,
And in
at a
return
dinner.
for that, in order to keep this arrangement going, Morrissey will go downstairs towards the engine and knock on it a couple times and get this thing going.
But Portobello thinks that this is all her doing.
Yeah, you can crushing those peanuts.
Always up to me.
I don't know what's gonna happen when I die. I'm an old woman, and this whole ship just for me. Let's whip a
Misha, could you bring him in close in a threatening sort of fashion to my face?
Of course, holds him directly in front of you.
Yes.
Maybe
Hello.
positions by the shoulders.
Little lower so that I'm higher in the eye level.
I'm much taller than you. I'm
yes,
realizing now.
Oh,
Okay,
not
well-
when you're being fist held by Misha, you're not.
Fisted?
Fish held.
No,
So-
for many years.
Oh, hello.
Is this anything to do with God?
What? It's a matter of perspective, really. It's to do with science and
He's-
archaeology.
I do love me some science.
Well, brilliant. Then again, I would put full steam ahead. And he sort of points. And you
I'm
see
going as fast as I can.
the cloud bank is almost like moving out towards a point. And it's seemingly directly towards you.
Right. All right, Misha, do what you like with him. I've got to run a few errands.
Is fisting still on the? No.
Not today.
Yes,
Goes
you.
and ties him to like if there's a mast, ties him to the mast upside down.
Yes, please.
Or yeah.
Put something in my mouth, please.
All right. Well,
Lemon.
you've made it weird, and then Misha will just kind of go.
Okay, right, fair enough. I can figure it out. I'll just choke myself on this.
oh. I think Misha will kind of like will squat down in front of. How do they find you?
Yes. Hold on. Let me just. Okay.
Oh, let me help. Slaps him hard across the face. Is good? Yes. Now tell me.
That's good. Yes. Well, they found me because I don't know, but I stole that map from them. The Schwarz.
So they follow the map.
I don't know. The truth of the matter is the Schwarz are very powerful. They seem to be a race of something that I don't quite understand. Not quite fishes, not quite aliens, but they definitely want me to stop going towards that X.
Oh well, if they're rich, then we can bargain for your life. Or
It's
sorry,
not so much-
with your life. This is
Right. Well, see, here's the thing. Now that you've all seen the map, which I was happy to keep my eyes only, you've inadvertently, made yourselves all a target. You see, they may have tried to kill just me. They will definitely now try to sink the boat. So, oops.
How urgently does this boat need to be moving? Given what Morrissey heard when he was scuttling downstairs. Just out of curiosity. How close to death is Portobello right now?
You hear a crack of thunder, or what you think to be thunder. And Misha, as you look up towards this piercing cloud, you see this light. At first, it seems like it's a break in the clouds, but it's far too orange, sunset almost. And as it grows wider and larger to the point where it almost looks like a fireball. And yet, the points in between reveal the cloud beyond, and it sort of separates to these dots. And as you are looking at these dots all growing and coming towards you, the man before you sort of shuffles to get the pull between him and this wall of darts as flaming arrows in the thousands come pelting down the ship in a singular wave.
Dang.
Everybody roll
thing we're
a
in
water.
d20.
Whoa, we're rolling dice, guys.
A d20, I
heck.
guess.
I get it.
Tell me
Alright.
what you got.
Is it going to be the number of arrows that pierce our squishy bodies?
Maybe. We'll find out.
I'm downstairs.
That's true.
17.
Yes. Creaky
3.
Timbers was also bound downstairs.
Okay, so Morrissey and Timbers, you hear the of these arrows hitting the deck.
that's not
Portobello, you dive underneath the edge of the ship as like an arrow sinks directly between you. Misha, you get pegged in both shoulders with flaming arrows, and with such force, they like push you back against the dock and pin you to the wood of the dock. You're like fine, like it's like action movie
Just
wounds.
like breaks it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap. And you stand up as blood drips from your shoulders, and these arrows are like stuck into the pole behind this guy, and he's like, "Yes, as I mentioned, move quicker."
Fair enough.
And-
I think Misha's gonna bang on the deck and just shout down to Morrissey, "We must go! We must go
yes.
now! Quickly
Morrissey,
now!"
you enter
Proper
the engine room.
speed.
What do you do, Morrissey, to give this baby some power?
Morrissey has had his stash of special things he's taken from other engine rooms, and all of it is going to go into the furnace right now. Like
Yeah.
this is not Portobello peanut crushing speed. This is Misha pounding on the deck
Hey.
speed. So
Yeah.
it's all going in, and it's a lot of different colors. There's a lot of different smoke. Good
Yeah.
luck, everybody.
Morrissey, you throw in like an old coffee can, and you're picking up these things, being like, I don't know what this is, I don't know what this is, and then you come across something that's called like napalm, and you're like, I don't know what that is. You throw that in. Timbers, as you are below deck, frantically doing what?
I have circled up through the underworkings of the deck, possibly passing Marcy at one point, to a cluster of pipes. These are the pipes that come from under the captain's quarters.
Right.
They branch throughout the ship. When he speaks, his wah, 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 wah voice
Correct.
is heard throughout.
Yeah.
Pulls one down from the cluster. Captain Claw, I'm sorry. And then he takes one of his many handkerchiefs and stuffs it in the central pipe so that the captain's voice will not be heard for the next while. And then he's going to make his way back up to the top of the deck and askew at all these flaming arrows. Just make sure that some of those arrows have wedged themselves nicely into the door.
Yeah.
And then with...
The captain's door is shut with an arrow. Portobella's crawling on all fours, standing between these flaming arrows. The man is cut free, and he's pulling arrows out and tossing them overside because the top of the deck is starting to catch on fire. And you see Misha bleeding.
I don't think we should be on fire because the boat is in water. That puts out fire.
Let me think of a sound effect for that. I don't have one.
Yeah, that means the logic is sound.
You're morally opposed to the
Oh,
boat
you're
being
morally
on
opposed.
fire,
I'm
or
morally opposed. I'm morally
Okay.
opposed to it.
Portobella, she doesn't have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Portobella's going to take care of dousing the flames.
Yeah.
Maybe she's going to like grab a bucket and she like dips it into Misha's hydroponics.
Yeah.
And she's like sloshing it over these like little arrows.
Yeah, Misha, it's chaos. You're running around. You see timbers running up. See the captain's door pinned. You see Portobella sloshing. What are you doing?
I'm definitely gonna get a hold of this guy. What is your name? You haven't asked me.
You never asked. Jarothy.
Yes, Jesse.
Jarothy.
Good.
Good. Okay. Yes. How do we stop them?
We can't. We need to get to the X before they stop us. We need to put some. And at that moment, as it kind of all gone simultaneously, Morrissey has thrown the napalm in. And as the words leave his mouth, he's like, we need some speed. A massive echoing boom throws everybody back.
We all do like a Star Trek wobble on
Yeah,
deck, like
yeah,
as if we're
yeah.
getting hit by phaser
and
fire.
the ship barrels across this. It's like skidding, like skidding across the top of the ocean waters, careening over waves, leaving the clouds far behind. So much so that you're entering like bright sunny day once again. Almost.
I almost lose my nacho hat, but then I don't.
Whoa!
It was close.
I hold on to it. Don't worry.
All the nachos are gone. It's like a piece of nacho. And as everyone holds on, it slowly comes down to a skid. And as the boat sort of stops and rocks back and forth, you have a moment of respite from the pursuing clouds.
Cricky is taking the helm.
Yes, go for it. The helm is different than the captain's quarters anyway. The helm is like below, so you're good. Yeah.
Well, that was something.
And all the arrows are put out, but like the deck is like a sea of like sticks. You know what I mean? Like it's just all these sticks sticking up.
Are you telling me that through the speed force of this boat, the waves took out the fire that was on the deck?
Yeah, the waves put out the fire.
Because the boat's in water, right?
Yeah, that's why.
Yes,
Because of
the
the
boat's in water.
Water beats fire.
Water beats fire. Rock
That's
beats
just
paper.
science.
And these arrows, you look at them and they're like, this is the nerdiest, lamest reference I can think of, but like, because no, everyone's gonna go, but in the movie Avatar, James Cameron's Avatar, they have like really big arrows. And I always thought that was so freaky because they're really big creatures. And these are like massive arrows. Like these arrows are like 3 foot and they're thick.
Nick just looked at your shoulder like,
What? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's huge.
Yeah, sorry. So
The
it's more
hole.
like
Yeah, these massive arrows are like wedged into the thing. And Creaky, you're on the helm, throwing some energy. Morrissey, you're down below, throwing some stuff. Portobella and Misha, what are you doing? You're bleeding out through your arms.
I'm headed up to where Creaky is, because Misha wants to, and I have Jarothy in tow. Misha wants to ask Creaky, how did you know it was about God?
Oh, call it an intuition. I've been sailing with one particular aim in mind for a long time. And I have a feeling today's going to be my lucky day. Mr. Jerthany, is that your name? Jerthy?
Jerthany. Yes, Jerthany.
No.
Why is it so hard for everyone to understand? Jerthany.
Misfortune.
So
Any
Jeremy and
idea
Anthony.
what this X we're bound towards is exactly?
Well, yes, I have a theory. Quite an established theory. Well,
I
see,
do love a theory.
my group was set to discover exactly what the Schwaz was protecting. See, in their religion, their pantheon, their god lives below the ocean, as we have now come to call it, the bubbly blue.
Oh
It's
my
originally called
god!
the ocean.
I feel like Barney. Bullet points. Very brief.
We need to wake their god, and they don't want him to wake.
Oh,
Why do we
Good.
need to wake?
Well, see, we
that's
have this
what
theory
happens when you kill people. They awake with a startled gasp as the blood billows out of their mouth, and then the shock of their white eyes as they take in the face of their killer, and then they're dead.
Creaky, you wish to kill this god?
Oh, I've been waiting a long time to do that.
Well, you could kill the god if you wanted. Look, the important thing is the way the world was. We believe in our religion that Algor believed that the only reason that the world is like this is because the water rose. That the true world lies beneath it. And
Yes.
there's this theory called displacement. Basically, what happened was, do you have a bucket?
This doesn't feel like bullet points to me.
Just lean out the window.
No. Look, we need to get to the X before the Schwaz does. And we
I'm
need to-
working on it while you're talking up a storm of your own.
Right. Well, if we get there and we wake their, god, then everything should be okay, more or less. The other part is, I believe that their god is guarded by a descendant of the Schwaz that live beneath the ocean still.
So not just passage you need, but muscle, a little.
To be perfectly frank, I was happy to use my covertness. To get underground by myself and sort of, But if we're all on the hook, so to speak,
No. You've
outside the door.
you've explained all but the most important part, Jerethani. Why do you wish to kill God?
Oh, no. I don't wish to kill God. I wish to wake him. I believe,
same
or the
difference.
Algorians believe, that when the god awakes, the water level will lower, and what will be revealed is something called islands. And these islands will be able to have all the hydroponics that you have down below on these islands.
Portabella walks into this conversation. She's like sweating up a storm and she's drinking a Gatorade. And she's like,
By the way, this whole world is sponsored by Gatorade.
absolutely.
Like, everyone.
That's
drinks
the
it.
water.
Yeah.
And she's like, back when I was a young crone, I heard about this idea
Baby crone.
of islands, places where rocks and grains of sand would accumulate together,
Aye,
bigger than this ship.
born by volcanoes.
Whatever you say. You're saying that this is real underneath us right now.
Yes, we have discovered ancient texts as the Algorians that believe that what has happened is a result of something called an inconvenient truth. And that's all we know.
How are we supposed to wake up this god?
Loud noise, maybe a cold glass of milk?
Harpoon to the throat.
I don't think that would wake him up so much as, sure, that could work.
Timbers, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think he wants to kill the god.
Why?
To kill a god, yes.
My father, the science wizard, once told me of those islands, places like Canada, that existed in the days before, down under beneath the water. Our world was conquered by angry gods, yes, ones that swim and writhe and breathe beneath the mark, and they filled our world with water. Well, I've waited a long time to fulfill his destiny and avenge them, and bring back volcanoes.
Right. Regardless, we are almost there. If we keep on this heading, we should get there and potentially beat the Schwarz. Well done, whoever. A question.
Yes. God wakes up, then God does what?
Drinks all the water. I think when you wake up, you're very thirsty.
Sorry, I don't understand the question. What do you mean when God wakes up, he does what?
You wake up a god, yes?
Yes, of course. And then everything will go back to normal.
And God goes where?
Exactly. Well, he's up, right? So, probably the bathroom. And then? Well, I don't know. Us Algorians don't really think about the next steps, just the immediate next steps.
Oh,
See,
Because that's why we're always second place.
As long as they live, mark me words, the world will always be at risk of becoming a beautiful blue wonderland with no life or soil or vegetation.
Well,
The
Misha does an excellent job with the vegetables.
Misha's
Misha,
great,
I've
yeah.
been meaning to tell you, the recent crop of tomatoes just perfect.
Well, and to that note, Misha, imagine for a second. And he, grabs your two painful shoulders and, presents a scene. Imagine for a second.
swats him away. Nope. No, touch is not welcome. Nope.
I think my tooth got broken. Anyway, imagine not just a few crops below the deck of a ship, but an entire island of tomatoes. Enough to provide all the people with food. Or to sell for a great profit.
No, if everyone has food, then little fighting. No fighting.
Exactly. Sure.
But
If that's
little
your
profits.
place.
I
And
was-
Morrissey, you're a crab person. Imagine.
Morrissey's coming back upstairs, by the way.
Yeah. Morrissey, imagine a whole island to loot. All the water drained, every ship that ever crashed, every insignificant dock place that destroyed itself is sitting at the bottom of those waters. When the water's lower, they all come up.
Morrissey
Scrap
does
everywhere.
prefer the thrill of the theft from the people who do own the boat, but this is also very intriguing.
And Portobello.
Portobella's already unrolling her net that's at her waist, and she's figuring out how big it is. She's like,
I'm going to need more of these.
Exactly. I don't have anything for you.
They're-
And Timbers, you get to kill a god. What do you say? Partners? And he puts his hand in the middle.
Sorry, one more question.
Misha, I keep saying you don't have to raise your hand, darling. Just talk.
Especially because you're bleeding so much when you do it.
Yeah, his flesh wound. Okay, so
Oh, good gum. I'm sorry. Let me just plug that hole very quickly for you. There you go.
thank you, Morrissey. This one too, please.
Oh,
And
just
thank you very much. Oh, grape. It's good. Okay, so God wakes or dies, either or, and then the Schwaz, they're still mad. Yes?
Right. Well, so here's the tricky thing. I believe that the Schwaz keeping this god slumbering is not what the god wants. I think he'll be very angry at the people who have been keeping him asleep. So, really, to answer your question from previous, the god will be very happy with us, and I'm sure he'll leave us well enough alone.
Unless we kill him.
Right, unless the aforementioned killing takes place.
No risk involved with that one. You need not rely on a fish's good humors.
Portobello gestures to the giant arrows that are peppering the deck.
Well, what about the Schwaz then?
Well, that's why we need to, and he ducks out of the little cabin that we're talking in. The clouds are now gaining closer. Well, we need to continue another burst of speed. Additionally, I need access to your diving bell. And every ship has a diving bell because that's how you get shit from down below. But your diving bell is cracked because Morrissey, well, tell them what you did.
How
I
did you crack
repaired
the
it.
diving bell?
I wanted to go inside the diving bell because no one ever lets me in. I'm a crab. You can swim. It's fine. No, I wanted to go into the diving bell and experience what the people experience. So he tried to fit, didn't quite fit, winded it up a little bit more, got inside, and then suddenly everyone was angry about that.
You broke it.
The irony
That
of
was
doing
broken.
this on a crustacean that can
look.
swim.
The
We need to
amount
figure
of
out-
gum that has been put into that scene is, I think, making it wonderfully sound again. You should
But
all
it's
be
not
thanking
fixed
me.
yet. We need to fix the bell, and we need to get away from these flaming arrows quickly.
I'll handle the maneuvering, Mr. Jarnathan.
I only have 2 claws to repair, but I will do my best.
I will help,
Jonathan.
Morrissey.
Right, and Portobella?
I have a trick up my sleeves.
Very good.
It's not the one with the 2 wheels.
I will take a quick
No.
power nap.
Okay.
And Jareth lies down. Timbers, you run towards the wheel and start navigating as the storm comes overhead. Misha, a crack of thunder bellows out as you and Morrissey head below deck to the diving bell room. The diving bell room is as you left it, Morrissey, and as you enter, the floor is covered with what?
The peanut shells that have been just effortlessly crushed over a period of weeks. The
You're
last time-
welcome.
It's very appreciated. He explodes them when he tries to crack them. So really, it's a symbiotic relationship. The dust has filled the bulk of the diving bell, so we're gonna have to clean that out for one thing. And then the random trash that has been picked up along the way,
All the gum
soda
wrappers.
cans, the gum wrappers,
So
everything
much.
that's there. It's going to all go inside that scene. That
Perfect.
crack. He's gonna hammer it in until it is watertight again.
And Misha, how do you help with your vegetation prowess?
By holding Morrissey aloft so that he can reach the high bits of the crack. Just
Thank you.
just moving Morrissey around. Left? No? Okay, left.
It's good because I think if you're able to just move him around, he can just keep doing this really, really fast, and then you just
Yeah.
hammer him like a pneumatic hammer.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
Portobella, you are inside the driving area.
Yep.
Portobella, what do you do?
I'm gonna try to cast a spell.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lay it out.
I want to be magic now, so
You are
I'm just
magic.
inventing that
you
I
already
am.
did it. You did divination.
Yeah.
For magic.
That was nacho based. This is gonna be tomato sandwich based magic. Yeah. So armed with some of Misha's fresh produce, Portobella is going to try her best to cast a spell. She's never cast this particular spell before.
Yeah.
And she makes the most delicious tomato sandwich that she can fathom. She takes a bite and is transported. The powers of the sea and sky are in her veins, and she endeavors to make the ship go really fast by eating this really great sandwich.
Yeah, Portobella, you take a bite and you are transported once again. But this is no longer into the calm, abyssal black void. This is your spell space, which is what setting?
It's like a freaky dance video
Yeah, it is.
from the 60s.
Yeah, it's like a club,
and
and everyone's dancing around.
there's
but
like
they're
a
all-
lot of like paisley fractals
but
going
they're all
on.
the same
It's
person.
good sloshed.
They're all
That's
they're-
right.
They're all a faceless mollusk person.
That's right.
And one walks up to you and says, which you can understand as, what do you wish to cast?
And I say, I want there to be a super wind to take my ship to the X.
And with that, the mollusk licks your face and you are sucked back out into the world. Creaky Timbers, you are on the helm. What do you do?
Do I detect the stirrings of the atmosphere
You absolutely do.
as their Portobella just spasms out after eating a sandwich in the background, and then looks up to the sky. High luck be on our side today, and throws 2 levers to throw the ship into as fast a motion as it can. The sails unfurl and like double triangles unfold to catch as much of this wind current as possible. And with pulling 2 massive red levers that say Captain Claw only, the Crabethany's and Captain Claw's old sort of iconic namesake, 2 large mobile mechanical claws unfold from the sides of the ship.
Oh yeah.
I love
And
that.
with expert dexterity, Creaky begins to drift on them, taking the entire boat, lofting it into the wind so that it's only skirting on one crab claw. He's trying to get as much sort of airtime as he can while avoiding these flurries of arrows that
You
might be
Tokyo
trailing behind.
drift it, and you absolutely do. As the music cranks on, you like drift the ship down below. Misha and Morrissey are like up against the bell as they get lifted off the ground. Portobello does a 360. The captain's hand lolls out of the room for a second and back in. And as you do, this like sea of flaming arrows like come down, but just miss. They just get the back end of the boat as the boat like turns, and then this gust of wind just rockets it across the skyline as it's like skipping. Misha and Morrissey below are like bouncing up and down, hammering the last little bits of gum and sawdust into the fucking bell.
It's like a hawk, where the hawk's head stays perfectly still, but like the body moves around. That's what Misha's doing with Morrissey.
Yeah. You're on a gimbal or whatever.
The war
Yeah.
continues.
You nail it in, and as you come to it like a screeching skid, you come down with like a whoosh, a splash of water, and you see Jarthany sit up as he grabs his map and opens it, and you literally see a glowing circle on the map. And he jumps up next to you, Timbers, says, "It is here!" And he shoves the thing away and runs down to the deck as you see the clouds now moving even faster. And all of you sort of congregate over the diving bell, which is now being, hung over the side. And he looks towards each of you. "We only have one chance at this. All for one."
And here's the rest of my sandwich.
And you put the sandwich on top of his hand, and he's like,
Click.
"Thank you."
Morrissey will staple it closed onto his hand.
Ow! I like it. And he jumps in the water and climbs under the diving bell.
This guy, it's not his diving bell. Okay. I think Misha will follow this person into the diving bell.
Yeah. Whoosh, you jump under. It's big enough for everybody but the crab, apparently. And
I can sit on the outside. I can do water. I'm a water
you like
thing.
lower it down or some cool shit.
I will
Timbers.
slide my way down like how Timbers first introduced himself. I will be able to do the little scroll down the chain, whatever it is, whatever fancy shit Timbers does.
Amazing.
I do that too.
Oh, Timbers is not going to go down with the diving bell. Timbers is going to get the equipment ready here, board side. Make sure that no invading acolytes muck up my business.
Portobella's changed into her diving suit. It's
And she's got like the fittest bod. Like she's been
I look
hiding
so
it.
fucking
She's been
dope.
hiding it under the thing, but she like turns around. She's got like old face, but like fit. She's
Old
like,
face. Slamming.
Yeah, like she's got like her, like it just hides her. Like,
I'm like 140 years old,
Yeah, on her
but I
bod.
look so good. And I'm wearing like black rubber that's been
Yeah.
like
you
scavenged
look like a
from
fucking,
the.
you look like a fucking like Charlie's Angel from the 70s.
Absolutely, it's amazing.
Like a harpoon gun.
I will
Cool.
say though, if Timbers is relinquishing a spot, then Morrissey will take it upon himself to occupy that spot instead.
Perfect. Yeah, and the four of you get lowered down into the abyss, and as you
In the diving bell.
move lower and lower, objects in the deep dark begin appearing around you. One says Bellagio, and one says another Las Vegas hotel.
Just had the one. Okay, cool.
Just the one, the rest fell.
One name, yeah.
One says MGM Grand.
Very good, very good.
One says Luxor, and as you're lowering down, you begin seeing this city deep underwater, more elaborate than what you've ever seen before. And you go right past this well-paved, it's a road, but you don't know that, and into a crack under this underwater city, lower and lower still. And then you begin to hear it. This deep thrumming, this snoring. It echoes through the bell, and it reverberates inside you, this deep bass. And meanwhile, on top, Timbers, the clouds overhead are almost completely dark, and the sun is all but gone. It's beginning to look like the dead of night as the rain starts.
Crew, this is Timbers. When you have eyes on the god, you give me a shout. Worry not, I'll keep our home intact till you get back safe and sound.
Misha pulls down the tin can that's affixed to the top with the wire running back up. I creaky. We are close. We can hear the snoring.
And Timbers... So go ahead.
Yeah, Timbers is gonna just shift some big and ill-used levers on the front control panel. And some unidentifiable but large piece of machinery begins to swivel in the underbelly of the ship.
Yeah.
What is keeping a careful eye on the horizon? What is
Well,
happening
and I was going to say, and
outside?
as you do that, you hear the wet thud behind you. A few wet thuds. And this is like a moment of silence. And you turn around to see 3 tall, lean figures staring at you. Their features are smooth, their eyes black. They have almost no noses or any sort of defining characteristics other than the gray mottled skin. They have long, thin arms with 3 fingers on each hand. And their head, they're adorned with these massive spikes, almost like gills that run all the way back.
Seals?
And gills, seals, one of those. And
seals?
actually, you know what? They look like almost teeth. They look like teeth stuck back. You know, like.
Speak any mollusk?
And they look at you with cold, dead eyes. And one of them pulls an arrow from the deck and spins it in their hand deftly.
I'm still picturing seals.
Yeah, those seal people.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the diving bell continues to sink lower and lower as the snoring grows louder and louder. And with a solid thunk, the rope goes taut. And you find yourselves maybe 10 feet from the ocean floor. I suppose this is it. Who wants to go first?
This is okay.
I don't know how to swim.
Your planning is bad. It's just bad, you know.
To be fair, I was just running from dying. I didn't really have a second step.
You make excuses you want, but you know. Okay. I'm assuming we have like diving suits.
Yeah,
or something.
obviously.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course
yeah.
you did. Well, no, you just hold your breath.
I, again, as a crab, am allowed to just go naked.
But you
I
can also
won't
hold your
lose
breath for a
this.
long time.
Exactly,
You
I'm
grew
fine.
up- all of you can. Yeah.
I think Misha identifies the suit that they all know is a little bit unreliable, a little bit leaky, and throws that one to Jarethy.
Thank you. This must be the best one.
It is. And then we'll don another one.
Portabella puts on some really big floppy diving flippers.
Ooh,
like
nice.
and she puts on like an ineffective like big like astronaut helmet, like a
Yeah,
big
the old-timey
glass
ones.
circle. Yeah. And then I peace out. Just go into the water.
Amazing. Yeah. And Jarethy follows you. Whoosh. Misha and Morrissey?
Well, Morris is just so happy to have been in the diving bell that I think he's a little reluctant to leave. So he'll be the last one to go, I think.
Yeah, Misha will drop out and then just kind of take a look around and try. Well, first of all, is Jarethy heading off in a direction like he knows where he's going?
Yeah, you all kind of can hear the snoring. And actually, as you like dip down and see, there's like this glow. There's like this violet glow down there.
Actually, I think Misha, before leaving the bell, will pull the can down again. Creaky, this Jarethy, he's on the move. What should we do?
You just hear the sounds of like combat and screaming. And
Oh.
you hear
The ancient weapons! It's like my father's!
Okay, we'll check in later. And then we'll just head out.
Timbers, when we cut back to Timbers is like lying against a sack of potatoes with like an arrow in his leg, like frantically trying to throw arrows at these three that are like approaching.
An arrow has punctured straight through creaky Timbers' leg, revealing beneath the pants that it is wood. And he is backed up against like one particular area of the control panels with these rather sharp, like safety would have put rubber caps on these metal pipe levers, but there are none. But he's backed up against it. He has an object in his hands. There's a small metal square, a red button, and a little like cartoon rocket attached to the top. And he says, "This is an ancient weapon given to me by my father. Take no step closer, fishman, lest ye reveal its power and be smoted with its holy vengeance. Back!
Steps forward.
You leave me no choice." And a little science fair rocket whizzes across the room and bops him on the head.
It's like a little, just like, and he's like, and the other one's like, and the one that you hit like picks up another arrow and throws it at that same wooden leg. And the three approach slowly and dangerously. Meanwhile, Misha and Morrissey have exited the bell finally.
I would say it's one of those things. I would like to click to Misha that this chain is fairly short. We've got another 10 feet. Now, I'm fine. I will be okay. But the humans might have a little bit of trouble getting back up, especially our little crone. So
I'm great. I've done this 1,000 times before.
I think this is time to do a little bit of extension adding to the chain.
Right?
I would like to scavenge some chains to lengthen this chain.
Morrissey, you go down to the bottom, you start finding chain, and you start finding big, thick pieces of chain, while Misha joins the other three. Jerthany, that guy, and Portabella.
Is anyone left in the diving bell at this point? Is it just
Misha
Morrissey getting... Oh, Misha? There is a brief, like, disruption from the crackle as these three come closer. Listen very closely. Get away from the god. Do not be close to the god.
And when you say not close, this is can you?
My leg again!
Okay, no, yes, okay, not close. And then I think Misha will try to go retrieve, specifically Portabella and Morrissey.
Perfect. Yeah, you see Morrissey scuttling around trying to find a chain and grabbing it. Meanwhile, Portabella is just behind Jerthany, and the two of you see it. This violet light. It washes over you unlike anything you've ever experienced. It fills you with a sense of dread. The overwhelming size of the breathing before you is just beyond your comprehension. And what you see can only really be described in shapes. You see a large, massive, bulbous, beyond the size that you could even really compare to any ship you've ever seen, this massive bulb and these legs that seem to stretch out for eons. It sits on the floor of the ocean, and Jerthany comparatively is just like the tiniest speck, and he like turns around and he's like, whoa. Like, wow.
Portabella just like a big, I don't fucking know. Like,
and he makes like a wave like, do your magic.
I pick up a rock and I just throw it as hard as I can, and it goes like,
and like it's like a big cutaway. You just see this rock like flowing really slowly towards this thing, and then it just hits the side of its little bulbous like and falls down slowly. And there's like this big moment of silence. And then you hear the rumble. It's deep and earth shattering as this tiny rock falls, and Jerthany like turns around. He's like, and you just see him go, whoom, as he gets like swiped out of sight as one of these massive tentacles just like moves, and you see the underside, this like pink flesh, this sucker pucked pink flesh move as this large tentacle. Portabella, this thing is waking up.
I'm swimming back.
Yeah.
I'm swimming back.
Misha, you just ducked down to see Portabella like growing larger upon return, and Morrissey's like happily clacking around with a fucking chain.
I'm braiding. I can twist it. I've made jewelry before. Jump hooks.
Morrissey is making the chain longer so it's long enough for Portabella to be able to get in time, and thanks to that, the bell drops just a little bit further down, just as Portabella swings in, and the tentacle swipes overhead, and it's like a whirlpool of energy that pulls the bell out to the side. Morrissey, you're holding on to it. Misha, you're inside. Portabella, you're also holding on to the outside of the bell, as the bell like swings along the bottom of the ocean just massively. And Timbers, we cut back to you. You see the arm of the boat move slightly. These three have still barely been hurt. One has stabbed your hand. It's like pinned to the deck. You're standing there with one hand free, but it's just out of reach of your ultimate weapon. Then you hear it. Captain's door open. And descending the steps, as you've seen him, only you have seen him before, Mr. Dr. Claw, the vampire captain of this ship, floats down from the top deck and lands and turns in. Oh, Timbers, thank you so much for letting me sleep. It has been What is this? He points a long finger at the three alien monsters that are hurting you. Have we been boarded?
Captain, I'm so sorry. I thought it was the only way.
Worry not, my friend. We will dispatch them.
And with one fell swoop, he cuts off one of their heads, giving you a moment to pull the arrow out and jam it somewhere into this alien. Where do you jam it?
I think it is. It's a complex maneuver. He begins like just excited as the captain beheads this guy, and he's like, "You made the mistake yourself when you brought dark clouds to drown out the sun. He loves that kind of atmosphere."
The whole thing.
Twirls the arrow as it comes out of his hand. Goes to like drive it back into one of these gummy guys.
Yeah, and he holds a hand out to stop you, but you pierce his hand through his hand into his face as you push the full force of the arrow straight through its brain.
Yeah.
And there's one more standing, and it kind of looks panicked for a moment as you kind of stand up, and Mr. Dr. Claw goes,
Do you not understand that you are fighting with the strongest crew? For we are not just friends. We are family.
And he goes, and he runs up behind and bites deeply into the flesh of the alien and starts gnawing at it. As the boat careens and moves, the waves suddenly around you rising higher and higher. And he throws the body over and says, I will bring up the diving bell. You get the weapon ready. And he walks over and starts reeling up the diving bell, which is connected to Portabella's little footstool.
Mm-hmm.
As the captain, with so much enthusiasm, back like the old days, goes to single-handedly, with vampiric strength, haul up this diving bell and bring the people to safety.
I'm doing it.
Creaky looks down to his chest, where a red bloom is beginning to seep through the shirt now.
No!
He has not moved from where he was thrown back against a set of sharp-ended silver levers on the control deck.
No.
And as he looks out to see the captain hauling this diving bell away, this swarm, this huge torrent coming up below, he says, I've always wanted to use the cross-day gun. And he sinks to his knees and takes the lever with him, ratcheting it down, as beneath the ship, a large glowing weapon begins to charge up, crackling lightning and blue flame beneath the water.
Yeah. just as this massive elder god, which basically just looks like a giant slug, rises from the depths. The charge from the ship's gun fires off, obliterating the elder god's tentacle. You see the water immediately just bloom red with blood, just like buckets of it. Buckets, gallons of this red water slosh overhead as this giant tentacle creature rises. And you realize in that moment, because it's telepathically speaking to everybody, that it was going to attack and kill you all. But because of the damage Timbers had done, it quickly twirls and shoots itself back into space, back into the stars. And as it launches into space, this giant underwater creature, it separates the clouds, destroying what was an alien ship in the clouds. It falls down into shatters. And as the diving bell comes up and the vampire captain swings it back on, the five of you now sit as the water level lowers. And after a moment, the sea's calm, the sky is clear. The sun comes out. The vampire captain dives into the darkened cabin. He's just out of sight, but he's standing there. And you see all around you islands. Islands as far as the eye can see. Dark, muddy, sand-covered in shit islands. And the beautiful blue that you so loved is now fucked with gross, dirty islands for the moment. But beyond that, you see hope. You see that these will soon turn green, that these trees will soon sprout, that everything you had ever dreamed that could come from an island will come to you. And as Timbers dies,
tomato.
Gum! I've got the gum! I can fix him!
The vampire captain whisper, "Are you sure you don't want me to make you a vampire?"
That sounds like fun, actually.
Smash cut to 2 weeks later as the ship is bounding over the ocean. The two vampires on the helm.
Wait, I want to be a vampire too.
Behind in a hero pose. Portabella's now a vampire as well too. Yes! Morrissey cracking away, and the title credits roll. The fucking salty dogs are here to stay.
Yeah!
Well done, everyone. That was
Yay! We're back, baby. I expected no less.
Yeah.
I pressed all my buttons.
They were beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's the
non-binary
best.
friends, that was Salty Dogs. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I had an absolute blast. MVP goes to Nick for their amazing role-playing, hilarious accent,
snap.
great commitment to the character and the bit. Now we get to talk about my notes. Here were the other names I had up. Borgues,
Good.
Quirtle, Dignit. These are the names that you could have had. I always just write a bunch of names and then just assign them randomly to the things as I need names. So like Schwaz was a name, but I was like, well, that's the cult now because it's the next on the list. Great job. You solved my mystery.
Thanks, Harlan. I'm so glad that we had a vampire captain.
Yeah,
after
seriously.
all.
Obviously. Well, that was again, I literally when it came up, I was like, oh well, I wrote down vampire.
He's vampire.
He's
So I was like, well,
vampire.
that makes sense.
Our
I think-
beloved Captain Dr. Mr.
Mr. Dr.
Chocula Claw.
Yeah. I want to.
That was great.
Yeah, great job, everyone. That was a blast.
3 elder gods. Ah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like or whatever. I don't really care. But join us. We do this hopefully every Wednesday. But also remember, you can check out some of these amazing shows by some of these amazing people. Where can they check out Ain't Slay Nobody? Nick?
Ain't Slay Nobody. There's a Discord that you should join. There's a website with all of the episodes listed out, and you can also find Ain't Slayed on your favorite podcast app. Come on over to the Discord. It's a fun time. Great community over there. Oh, thank you.
Really
No, please. Oh, stop. No.
William, where can they find you?
You can find Hello from the Hallowoods at hellofromthehallowoods.com or listen to it wherever you're listening to the Ain't Slayed podcast.
And startplaying.games/GM/MX
If you would like to play role-playing games with me, you can go there, and you'll see all the games that I'm running, and you can join those games, and we'll have fun.
Absolutely. Next up, Erica. They can find you at ericascool.com.
And
Not
some
really.
very lucky viewers closet.
That's right.
Expect me on Thursday.
And Joe, you got...
I'm on Discord. Come and hang out. If
not
you're not on the Invictus Streams Discord yet, I'm there. We're gonna do a tomato sandwich spell together later.
And of course, you could check out Malevolent. It is a horror show. Wherever you got to do it. That's it from us. Thank you so much for hanging out. And as always, as my good friend Nick always likes to say,
Never underestimate a nacho hat.
never underestimate a nacho hat, everyone. Good night.
Yay!